Okay, guys. Yeah. So today is the 13th of November, 2024. In all honesty, and it's about 12:30 right now, 12:30 p.m. But yeah, I'm gonna finish, writing a work paper on my audit procedures or the principles to my auditing duties and so forth as a federal auditor, and in general what it's supposed to be as a policy of the United States government to allow for auditors. But we anticipate that eventually the United Nations, when it becomes a world government in 20 years, the United Nations as world government will have a public or federal auditor, and that particular office will make sense. Having a federal auditor or a public auditor, regarding the United States government itself, the federal government of the United States, that's not necessarily a pursuit, since the United States is going to start, popularizing, federal auditors and so forth to be able to audit agents and to be able to audit, especially the agents who work within the orbit of the IRS and some of the, beyond just the Federal Bureau of Investigation and so forth, and military agents and so forth. All right, so I did not come up with the concept as some sort of obscure obligation. No, it's. I had a lot of positions. I contracted with the federal government of the United States for employing a lot of obligations and duties in representation of the federal government of the United States as a contractor with the federal government of the United States in the consolidated, contractual terms and the corresponding duties and obligations. Established the term federal auditor, and that's why I'm officially a federal auditor of the United States government, and it's nominal, it's real, and it's not derogatory in any sort of sense regarding the customs of the United States federal government, that which is constitutional and ethical, and so forth. All right? And yes, I want you guys to understand that, all right, so that makes a lot of sense. I just explained myself about this particular issue, but yeah, over the next 2 weeks or so, I should continue writing work papers, and I might not get to publish a new work paper, every day over the next 2 weeks or so, but consistently, maybe, one every 2 days, or sometimes 2 in a row, but consistently. All right, so if you search my name in Americana online and so forth, you can see that. Especially if you go to the Yahoo search engine, you'll be able to see that my legal article is sold at Amazon.com, and not just Amazon Canada or Amazon Mexico and elsewhere, but Amazon.com. You'll be able to find it at that particular retail, store on the internet, and you'll be able to find that I do have a lot of books, over 20 books, e-books for the most part, but real books, but sold as e-books at Lulu Bookstore, Lulu.com, Lulu Bookstore. It's about 20, separate books, and a few of them are, have, new editions, and therefore you're going to see about 28, books of mine, original and new editions, published with Lulu.com, Lulu Bookstore. And over the next month or so, you will be able to find, when you search my name, or my name in Lulu, or my name in Americana, you will be able to find at least, 4 to 6, different books, easily, searchable and findable and clickable, within the search results, the search engine results. All right, so I've done a lot of work, over 20, publications for the most part, and most of them, one is over, almost 1,000 pages in certain formats. Certainly, over 700. Well, one is quite hefty. The legal article, Americana by Shawn Dexter John, The New Societies, Concepts and Political Apperceptions of an Eastern Caribbean Model of Commonality. That constitute certainly almost 140,000 words. So, even 150,000 words, it's a lot. It's certainly over 500, about 500 pages in any sort of format, ebook format. But that's quite hefty. And most of the other books are between 50 pages and 250 pages. So, and the original book sketch was over 700 pages, as some of you guys can remember. And, so I've done a lot of work. I have a lot of work that you can find on the internet, and eventually you're going to see that my name is, is associated with a lot of works in the search engines, easily findable. So I should be able to get back to some sort of music production and helping with the assignment, the federal assignment of evolving hip hop into more so of a popular genre beyond, abstract and cultural expression. It's going to be a bit more middle income. It's going to be a bit more stable. It's going to be a whole lot less, frivolous and less gangster and less violent. So it's going to take about 20 years to perfect the abolition of gangster hip hop and the abolition of gangsterism in the African American community. Yes, it's going to take about 20 years to get that done. In 30 years, it's going to be apparent that it's never going to return, meaning gangsterism and gangster hip hop is never going to return to the black community, the African American community specifically. And so we're going to invest in Operation Cool Nerd, which will transform African American boys and girls. So once again, Operation Cool Nerd will, over the next 30 years, will transform African American boys and girls. When I speak of African American boys and girls, I'm speaking of American born and immigrant African American boys and girls into studious, highly professional, articulative, liberal in perspective, but conservative in attitude or demeanor or discipline, on a demographic basis as part of a restitution order, endorsed and acknowledged by the United Nations General Assembly to governments all over the world, including the United States government, obviously. So we have a lot of work to do. So hip hop is going to remain a lot of fun, and it'll remain abstract enough when it comes to art, when it comes to the artistic value of hip hop. But it's just not going to be, it's not going to be extremist in any sort of way. It's not going to be hypersexual to the point where it's derogatory or demeaning to African American girls and women and other girls and women. It's a lot of work that we have to get done, and that's just a cultural part of my work. But I'm still going to do my intellectual work. I'm still going to manage the Central Intelligence Agency and INTERPOL as a partnership. I'm still going to be chief and lead agent and auditor within the Central Intelligence Agency outside of that particular obligation and related to it, and so forth. All right, so and what we are working on is not purpose with condemning any particular race or any particular ethnicity or gender. What we are working on, our directive, our collective directive, or the spectrum of directives, associated with my communication effort. Certainly, it's not going to be derogatory, demeaning, or disenfranchising of any other race, any other ethnicity, or any particular gender or nationality whatsoever. Okay, guys. So we have a lot of work to do.